Stellaris yet. It'll probably take a minute to go, but it has been a little bit since I've started. Okay, there we go. We've got all of the quality options, which I was looking for. My desktop is full of nonsense right now, but we should be able to get through a stream tonight. So it occurred to me it's been a little while since we've done Stellaris. Not for any like specific reason. I very much enjoy Stellaris. But obviously sometimes the circumstances will run against me. I tend to notice that the Wednesday and Monday games tend to be the ones that are most fragile to circumstance. So in this particular case, August the 1st was a holiday. On top of that, I actually got my second COVID dose, or well, not a COVID dose, the second dose of my COVID vaccine. And so as a consequence, I was, well, some of you actually already know what happened. I was definitely not feeling very good after that. So even if I had intended to stream, and I really actually did like the opportunity to take some time for myself. It's been a while since I've been able to do that. So it's nice to be able to, to take that time, but I have missed Stellaris, and I'm really looking forward to coming back to it. I'm quite intrigued by the new DLC. We haven't really jumped into the major end game sort of stuff for it yet. So either becoming the Crisis or becoming the Emperor, although we are slowly creeping towards that. One of the reasons, in fact, why I wanted to continue on with the Black Codex this week. Now, I have quite a bit ahead of me. I've actually got a big stack of books in front of me, which I need to get through ideally before I finish for the evening. Then I have a textbook beside me, which I also want to finish before the evening. A notebook listing all of the things that I want to do before the end of the night. And then the nagging sense in the back of my head of the things that haven't been written in that notebook, which I want to get done before the end of the night. So I'll try and make the most of the time. Obviously, it'll take a minute to let everybody kind of come in and, just get a feeling for where we're at. And one thing that I have been a little inconsistent with, maybe more so with Brace Yourself for the last little while, but let's get this out of the way right at the start. I was given a key for Nemesis from Paradox. How many planets do I have? Good question, Colfax. Let me just get the disclaimer out of the way, and I'll answer that question for you. I have been streaming this for a little while now, and I was given a key for the new DLC Nemesis from Paradox. I have been happily streaming Stellaris with using keys from the developer. Basically, since the game was first released, the only exceptions to these are the humanoids, plantoids, and necroids DLC. And the necroids DLC is the only one I don't have enabled because I don't have a copy of it. Generally, I don't really see a need to request the cosmetic DLC, although they did offer me one for lithoids, I guess, because it does have some gameplay in it, so it makes sense. But with that in mind, I will actually say that Paradox is one of the few companies that actually does specifically specify what to say, but not in the sense that you would think. I think the Paradox Development Studio games have a tendency to allow for some definitely skirting the edges of decency. I've done this too for myself. So, when I play a game like Crusader Kings 2, I'll casually say something like, and I evade this person because they're the wrong religion. Now, that's sufficiently, I actually think even by the new standards that would not be okay. But I think in the context, and certainly at the time where obviously things were a little bit different, I think everybody sort of understood that this was me highlighting the horribleness of the game. And generally I would sort of limit those statements not for major religions, but usually cults. Or not cults, but like heresies. But the fact of the matter is that obviously, it's not just that people are more sensitive about it, but it's the fact that, people have come in and have really sort of used that as an opportunity to spoil the fun. That all of a sudden, people are saying that stuff, and it's not it's not because they're having fun with the game. It's because they're trying to smuggle in something a little bit different. So I think, to Paradox's credit, they have been very clear in terms of the, in terms of sort of the streamer sort of guidelines, in terms of saying that it is sort of the expectation is that you are going to be very clear when you are talking about what's happening inside of the game, and, not making a general statement about a people. And I mean, obviously, this is going to be much more true for the historical titles. But yeah, with that in mind, I just, because I said that thing, Paradox is the one company that sort of has specifics in terms of what they'd like to say. It's not, I give this 10 out of 10 system chalks, but they are a little conscious of some of the dialogue around their games, which, I mean, it's a shame, right? You would hope that people who are interested in historical games would maybe behave a little bit better. But, okay, now this weirds me out. I feel like we've just lost a whole bunch of time. Okay, I bet when I unpause, we're going to see a lot more progress. Because this scares the hell out of me when I see this. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to sort of belabor the point on on unfortunate topics, but it was just a chance for me to sort of highlight just kind of the dynamics of what it means to stream that game. Again, to highlight the fact that I have been given a key, so if you are making a buying decision off of this, do keep in mind that I was given a key specifically to promote the game. But with that in mind, I also sort of think that I'd like to think I'm more expensive than just a DLC key. So, Cool Facts wanted to know how many planets I have, and I believe I can see that under the planets and sector. No, actually, I guess I would find that under my species description. Sorry, contacts. So we currently have 40... Is this planets or systems? It's planets. So that is the largest amount. The Zaxoid Stellar Confederation is the next largest, we're about to take them over. Gyroid Empire is next largest with 22. I may be a little surprised that the Vitresis Hive is relatively small, so they've got 15. They are really the threat that... they're the one who could really keep us in check. The Stagnant Ascendancies obviously are not, they're not that big. They never are. But yeah, they're tough. So, and I guess the good news is that the very religious ones are have the stronger fleet. But yeah, the plan right now is to just get this war done as quickly as possible, and it looks like they might have changed the war rules. So obviously, I don't want this war exhaustion to get up to the maximum level. However, we currently have got minus 28 on enforcing demands. So it seems to me it's possible we might be able to bring this over the edge without having to take over every single planet. That's actually a good thing for me because Tolobos will be a bit of a hard one to capture. In any case, I've got a few of these systems here. I want to head back and heal before I go too much further. I also think I had some... I think I was going to be... I know I was refitting a few of my different fleets. So overall, I think I need to get a little bit of I need to get my bearings again in terms of where we're at, just in terms of overall ships. I remember I kept giving myself all of these IOUs. Also, we had some construction ships. I don't think there's anything for me to do with my construction ships right now. So I think the best I can do is just sort of distribute them among the Empire. Okay, so I've got some idle science ships, which I'm not crazy about. Let's maybe just put them on automated exploration for the time being. Okay, so the Vernalis Starfleet's at 150. The Decini Starfleet is currently repairing. The Forfan Starfleet is building up. And we've got the Karnata Starfleet, which is merging with the Vernala. So we're going to add another 26. Which means we're still short. Now, if I remember, I don't use the fleet manager that much, but I seem to remember Okay, cool. I've actually got a piece of paper beside me this time, so I'll be able to properly take notes. That is if I didn't misplace my pen. There we go. So this isn't necessarily the best fleet layout. It's just what I currently have. So Corvette 28, Destroyer 14, 13 cruisers, 7 battleships, and 1 Titan. So with that in mind, I currently have 14, 12, 12, 6, 1. And we've got 10, 2, oh, hang on. Those numbers don't work. Oh, maybe they do. Okay. It's 10, 2, 1, 1, which brings me up to 24, 14, 13, 7, 1. So we are short, according to this, 4 Corvettes. I think that's nonsense. Oh, nope, those numbers add up. Okay. 4 Corvettes it is. Okay, so with that in mind, Decini, so I'm actually just writing this out so that I don't need to do this every time. So the Vernala, I owe you 4 Corv. The Decini, so 1 battleship, 3 cruisers, 6 destroyers, I think. And a Titan. So I've got the Titan. We have the battleship. Got 3 cruisers. So I need 5 more destroyers. And 1 more Corvette. And then, of course, after that, we'll be able to build up our next fleet. So, with that in mind, just to try it, so it'd be nice if I can kind of get, if I could make my existing fleets whole. Let's think about how I can, get myself to that goal. Okay, so we're already building it. Okay, we're actually already on our way to our next Titan, so that's good. So I think I needed, well, no, let's do this in the right order. So I think I said I needed 5 destroyers. Okay, well, we've got a good start. Cure Charlie, been a hot minute. How's things been? Not too bad. I recovered from my second COVID vaccine dose, so I'm not quite as demolished as I was before. I'm really looking forward to some more Stellaris. I know I'm in the planning phases right now, but I'm feeling pretty confident with our ability to take on the remaining, so the remnants of the Zaxoid Stellar Confederation, and I'll admit I'm a little interested in how we're going to handle the Grey Tempest. I think, especially given our current naval capacity, I've got everything that I need, but we are still suffering quite a bit from the Empire sprawl. So if I can finally get that Empire sprawl under control, and sort of get my economy back, then I think we can really start focusing on alloys again. And if I can start focusing on alloys, then we just sort of roll over everyone and laugh at them. Okay, so we've got the Shroud. Let's head in there. Could this be where everything began? Reach into the Shroud. We cannot be certain this is really happening. Are we truly in the Shroud? Or is one of us experiencing an acute psychotic breakdown? So, ship repair. If successful, the energies of the Shroud will be channeled into a powerful boon that has a positive effect on our entire empire. Increased weapon strength for medium or ethic attractiveness. I don't normally want this one, but I don't know what ship repair does. If we can repair in the middle, if we can repair sort of like in space, that's great. Let's see what it does. Oh, Curse Bestowed. A powerful psychic backlash is bounced back through our conduit within the Shroud and into the communal psionic link that is shared between Emutherians. This has had a profound effect on the happiness of our citizens, and a sense of gloom now pervades throughout the Black Codex. Even the mundanes can feel it. So, for 60 months, we're at minus 20 happiness. Not a great place to be, but we will endure. Oh, sorry, there is one other thing that I want to do. Oh, really? Okay, well, my science ships don't currently have anything to do, so I feel like I was dealing with this problem before, and it was just going to be a question of sticking them on the right system. That doesn't say what. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a pain because I don't actually have that many systems that are like real science powerhouses. Okay, so Quantos, clearly Quantos has already been taken care of. Wentwork actually appears to be generating more overall. So Wentwork Arteum. Crash is the next one, so Ablira has been taken care of. Oh. Let me just make sure that that's actually true. Okay, yes, they're working on Ablira Prime. Fair enough. Okay, so 83 is the next. Sorry, 83 is the current ceiling. Frankly, anything higher than 10 at this point is... Okay, so Taya... Alright, they already have a science ship. Wow, I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel then. Ugrasil then? And then Borobo Prime, I suppose, because it's 12. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to start doing a little more research after the war, but okay. I lied, by the way. There is one last thing that I want to do before I go too much further, and that's just a quick audit of my planets. So the Empire capital on Quantos is full up in terms of jobs. That doesn't work for me. I think there's still plenty more that we can do. Against my better judgment, I am going to upgrade the administrative complex. I will also upgrade the advanced research, but I do need more bureaucrats. As long as I'm going to have it, I might as well commit. So 6 jobs available here, 9 jobs, 2, and those are worker jobs. Oh, crap. What do I want them to do? Definitely more industrial districts. Let's make 2 of them, actually. Okay, that was Ernest. Lemsa has got 5 jobs, went work for... Sorry. Maybe making sure that it's the types of jobs that I want. Okay, we seem to be fine there. 5, 9, 34, more than I'm ever going to need. 5, 3... Right, and I called this a mining world for some reason. I don't exactly need it, but... No, this doesn't make... I mean, okay, mining world, fair enough. I'll get the resources, but... Let's not kid ourselves. This is an industrial world. I guess I allowed myself another agri world. I know I was sort of on the fence about a few of these, but this seems good enough to throw into that. However, we are short on jobs, so I'll throw a couple more bodies at the farms. 3 jobs. That looks so weird. Okay, so we've got 3 jobs available. This is a forge world, but sort like kind of not really. Yeah, we'll run with it. The big question I have is like, how many city districts do I want to make and how many industrial districts do I want to make? I figure the worst case scenario, I just start converting some of these. Now, Borobo is short on city slots, so we'll open that up. Sawa, currently a forge world. I think it makes sense as a forge world. Okay, these guys are getting a little short. Plenty of clerks. Currently counts as a refinery world, which interests me. Habitability, growth speed, and low building costs. Okay. I'm not 100% sure what I want to make this. We'll make it a forge world, probably against my better judgment. Okay, well, we know what we do with bureaucratic centers. Although I guess at some point I need to stick a... Okay, how many bureaucrat jobs? Yeah, we've got more than enough bureaucrat jobs, so let's put the ever-important stronghold down this time. Size 7, we're fine there. Refinery world, size 5, 4 jobs available. No specialists, though. Oh, right, okay, so we're back to the same story about it being refinery world. Now, this is actually a world that's very good for generators. So again, this is one of these traps that you can get into, is that on most worlds it looks like industrial districts are pretty easy to build, and they'll usually be the most numerous. So if you see something where there's like 9 slots available for energy, like that's something you really want to take advantage of. Particularly here, because being able to generate a lot of energy is going to be something that will allow me to buy my way out of my my consumer goods deficits. Now that doesn't mean that I don't take advantage of industrial districts. It just means that, you know, when I can, I want to take advantage of the generators. And in fact, in particular, I'm going to be able to build an energy grid to help double my my gains there. So similar story here. We'll build an energy grid. We'll stick down another. Actually, all of these are really good for energy. Am I overestimating how good these worlds are for energy? I don't think I am. Okay, well, we already know this is a bureaucratic center, so let's just throw a few more buildings at it. I'm not even really paying attention to... Yeah, so like this I made a generator world for some reason, even though it actually doesn't have that many generators. So this one, I think we're going to switch back to an industrial world. I'm fine with this being a forge world, and it's got more jobs than I know what to do with right now. This is currently a colony. Doesn't really spark joy one way or the other, so let's make you a forge world. This currently counts as a refinery world. Oh, because of the dust desert. So we'll start mining those motes. I should maybe double check on some of those refinery worlds. It's like, this is a weird one, right? It's called a refinery world, even though it doesn't actually have anything to refine. So I'll make this an industrial world. One of the reasons why I'm overdoing it as far as industry is concerned, we are currently importing 245 industrial goods a month. So, and let's face it, my population growth is not going to be fast enough to turn this into, you know, like I am not really going to be growing into that anytime soon. Okay. If I'm going to make this a generator world, I should commit. And I am happy with it as a generator world, so let's stick a couple more city districts in. I might even turn around and add some bureaucratic centers or something like that here. I do also need to think about science worlds, right? So I've been sort of building all of these things. So this is maybe one of the things I should keep in mind, right? There's all of these worlds which are like bureaucratic centers, generator worlds, and all of that. Where's the world here that's going to be my next big science planet? I may have to sort of refactor a couple of existing worlds to be able to accomplish that, because right now I've got all of these worlds sort of spoken for, and they're not really contributing a whole lot. But on the other hand, the bureaucratic centers are probably the ones that are contributing the most to science right now, just by reducing that technology cost down from that plus 70%. So again, if I have to refactor a few worlds, so much the better. I'll maybe just take a look at some of the things that I have the largest surpluses for. Maybe I'll convert a couple of farming worlds into tech centers. But that's definitely a down the road consideration. One final thing that I need to think about is, okay, Comfort the Fallen, I oppose it, so I'm totally fine with that. We are definitely going to be making some moves as far as galactic affairs are concerned. I'm just not quite ready for that.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
Okay, so we've got Emutherians to stick on some worlds. Definitely want to find some of these industrial worlds that I just made. Yeah, so fact, perfect example. So I can't recall if these
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
I can't recall if these heal in sort of the middle of space. And I think the plan for these guys, so we are going to heal up at Kesso, and then I think the plan was to go through Higma, Garanath, and just like claim Vega, claim Algarab. Those were sort of like nice to haves, but I also think they're an opportunity for me to just kind of ratchet up the pressure a little bit on the AI. It's not terrible that I'm taking a little bit of a break here with this healing, just because it does give my reinforcements a chance to to get into the area. But I don't want to be too careless about that either. Okay, the Gearoids have declared their rivalry. All right, and rivalry in return. So again, I want to keep an eye on just whatever's going on this side here. I don't expect too much, but I also don't want to be surprised by the bad guys. Now, I just built a bunch of stuff. I think I needed at least one more destroyer. And then I think it was 4 more Corvettes. The good news now is that any surplus that I make, I'm just on my way to my next fleet. So I think if I think my fleet cap's like 180 now, right? So I think we're looking at something like four major fleets plus the patrols that I've got running around, which don't really make a whole lot of sense, but I'm still keeping. Actually, we're probably closer to 5. But... Okay, who got healed? Oh, excellent. Okay, so just in time for the 3rd Navy cluster to try and take back their territory. So this will be nice. We'll go and take Tethys right away. It'd be nice if I could get Fildham as well, but this is just such a weak little group of ships that it's like the opportunity is just too good to pass up. So we'll probably lose the.
Is beset by enemies.
We'll probably lose the station. Well, maybe not.
Spaceport martyred.
It's a bit optimistic.
Heretic fleet engaged.
The big one for me is to try and minimize the number of ships that get lost. So yeah, here we lost a Corvette, so I'm going to have to add that to the list. I've lost track of what we were building. I think at this place at this point we're doing well enough that we can take the momentum and move into the Tethys system. Oh, actually, now wouldn't be a bad time for us to get the merger in. Again, there's some replacement that's going to be happening, but I thought for a second there was a Titan there. I was like, ooh, it's a little bit of a spicy fleet. And for whatever reason, I ignored the repairs that were happening on this group. So I completely forgot to take the other planet. All right, well, that makes life easy for me. So I'm gonna take the Navy just to wipe out their army over here, and then we will clear out Higma, Garanth, Beers, Zoldar, and Aphris. And of course, by then the troops should be able to catch up. Although again, the Endurga Khanate might decide to harass me. Okay, here we go. So, again, was it necessary for this to happen? I don't know. It's always nice to have that little extra firepower, I suppose. This is really just so I can clear the way. We'll have a nice base from which to heal from. We'll be able to invade a few planets. Then we'll be able to kind of rinse and repeat in this whole we'll be able to basically take this whole sector without too much hassle. And again, I'll be interested in seeing whether or not the war goals work as they used to. Okay, it looks like the Endurga might actually cause me a little bit of grief. These folks, on the other hand, will not. Well, we almost lost a destroyer out of that.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect
Privateers
them.
actors. Now that surprises me because I'd actually thought we had secured our lines. Also looks like we lost 4 corvettes off of that. That's rather expensive. All right, the privateers we armed... Oh, sorry, that's a totally different group. The privateers we armed have established themselves in the PABA system. They have immediately begun targeting local shipping. Our analysts expect that the Zaxoid Stellar Confederation will soon have to divert forces to deal with this destabilizing threat within their borders. Oh, that's really convenient, actually. So, I mean, let's face it, this is not a very strong privateer army. It does mean that the Endurga are probably going to be redirected. More importantly, we are now able to land forces on Avlik. And we'll just hang out.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Okay. Neutron Launchers. Upgraded energy projectiles that rely on neutrons instead of protons for their destructive power. It's physics, so we're pretty far down the physics tree, it looks like. We're getting a lot of upgrades. In this case here, I'll prefer anything that isn't standard upgrade, so physics research from researchers. 22 months to get a nice bonus. I'm a little relieved that we're still at this level, even though we're seeing...
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
I'm sort of relieved that we're seeing this just simply because it's nice to know that we're... You know, let's just deal with this properly. Then we can worry about bonuses. Also, I'm curious... Okay, so this still is 21. Oh, right, because we haven't actually taken the system yet, so nothing's really changed. So yeah, we'll park outside this station. We should be able to heal without too much trouble. Obviously, we'll move into the other stations as quickly as we can. But I'd rather not lose any more ships than I absolutely have to, so... Oh, I was voting for the resolution. Looks like people do not want to... Looks like people don't want to bring this in. Okay, well, all the more reason for me to take over. Again, vassalizing a... Actually, let's just take a look at those numbers. So the Zaxoids definitely have much less weight than they used to, so that'll bring me up to about 20k. I suppose the Gearoids have to fall next. For me to really have all the weight in the galactic affairs. It's not impossible, but I believe the Gearoid do have the protection of the Vitresis hive, so it would be good for me to sort of bloody the Vitresis hive before trying to vassalize the Gearoids.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
So I'll head straight into the next system without too much consideration. Okay, well, this is a nice problem to have. Let's just buy up as much as we can alloy-wise. Okay, so let's... so first of all, I should take a look at some ship IOUs. I'm going to do this on my proper fleets again, so... we need 9 Corvs. We're good for destroyers, good for crew. Oh, it's really just the 9 Corvettes, it looks like. Okay. It's 9 Corvettes for Naval. The Decini, I think we'd already worked out they wanted... right, I think we actually said that they had everything that they needed. So it was a battleship, 3 cruisers, 6 destroyers, 6 corvettes, and a Titan. So with that in mind, the 4-fan Starfleet, we've got a Titan. We now have 6 corvettes for them. We've got 6 destroyers, more than 3 cruisers, and more than 1 battleship. Okay, so with that in mind, let's actually get... Let's get the material that we needed out to... Like, it's not going to help me sitting in my my shipyards. How many corvettes do I need? 6? Okay, so this Starfleet we're going to assign to... these guys. Now that means... I think I said I needed 9 corvettes for this fleet. Currently have 5. Okay. So we're good there. Definitely want to build another Titan just because those take a long time to produce. And I suppose I can save, or we just build everything we can. I was originally going to take all of that. So the original plan was to go into upgrading some of my existing stations. I'm still going to do it, just obviously I don't quite have the same... I don't have quite the same strength. Alright, the Spira system... Now I'm trying to remember if I did this to protect trade or not. Probably. So let's give you a hangar bay. And then the trade hub gives me an extra 1 to the range. That'll get me Hanem Tear, so it's not terrible. Yeah, why not? Alright, the resolution was defeated. Fair enough. So I guess the question now is... like, if I wanted... Oh, actually, okay, so here's the question. What else am I going to be using the influence for? And the answer is nothing. So it seems to me, if the aim was to, like, to wait until I was ready, I am now ready. Okay, Galactic Reforms. We will nominate the Black Codex as the Galactic Custodian. So it'll cost our Empire 300 to propose this resolution. Shall we add it to the proposal queue? Yes!
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
Oh, crap. The wars might end. Okay, Custodian can be chosen from members of the Galactic Council by passing the Nominate Custodian resolution. The Custodian enjoys the following benefits. Initially, an Empire stays Custodian for 30 years and afterwards returns to the Galactic Council. Custodians can propose the following unique resolutions for 200 influence. If I can, I'd love to extend. Actually, the best would be to remove the term limit. So I know if you declare I think if you declare a crisis, that ends the wars. Okay, well, it looks like the measure's not at the top of the, it's not at the top of the list anyway. So let's just use that as a good excuse to wrap up the war quickly.
Heretic station engaged.
So we'll land the armies. We'll take a minute to recharge. So destroyer and 2 corvettes. Oh, lots of things happening now. Okay, missed out on the slave, unfortunately. Scientists. Okay, let's see if we can get another custodian one, actually. Or not custodian, curator. No, we already have one. So, who's our best scientologist, sociologist? Okay, so the Elorum needs a new captain. So what we'll do here, well, Maniacal actually works pretty well anyway, but I usually look for young if I can, and then desirable traits. Although depending on the trait composition, sometimes I will go for an older candidate. Okay, how are we doing war goals wise? So we got another 2 off of that. Now we are getting into some slightly nerve-wracking territory as far as the war exhaustion is concerned. So it wouldn't hurt for me to, take some time and, and think about how I'm going to, how I'm going to do this effectively. Also, let's say that's a blocked system. So I don't want to move the, I don't quite want to move this army quite yet. You got a few nasty creatures hanging out. So we're a little behind as far as getting this this group of units moving around. This part of the galaxy I'm feeling reasonably confident about. I do need to heal up some units. But I kind of have 2 options available to me. If I want, I can just pop the remaining space stations, which I think probably makes the most sense. So pop the remaining space stations, then we just go clearing these things out while the army claims them. The thing that's really great about that is that means we sew up this part of the galaxy and we can start focusing on, basically the real meat here. That allows us to sort of reunite our old fleets. The only drawback, of course, is that it does take a while, right? And particularly if we wind up having to move up to these systems to claim them, you know, it's a drag, and I do need to make sure that we get this stuff done reasonably quickly. We'll see how this goes. So I'm not too worried about these. These are obviously just chances to grab some minor systems. Really, what I want to worry about are the big stations, and particularly the ones that might be taking out some ships of mine.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them. Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
Okay, good. We'll move them into Fiddleam momentarily. Okay, so the custodian's the next vote. Ah, right. So that's another destroyer and 2 corvettes. We'll just, again, we'll build up the replacements as we can. So I owe you a corvette. This one shouldn't be too difficult. This is just a chance to take out a starbase and then also punch some of the support fleets. I believe this is the group I was actually attacking. Now, it is really tempting to try and take the Polygar system. I guess the question is, how confident am I that I'm going to... Yeah, you know what? I'll do it. It'll unite the... I'll be uniting with these ones. So I'll wind up losing more ships than I wanted to. But it's like the opportunity's just kind of dangling in front of me, so... That means I'll also send the army. Okay, research is... Okay, that's fine. And we've got a... So the hope is that we'll start kickstarting... We'll be kickstarting our industry with that. Again, the hope here is that they heal up pretty quickly so we can move on to this last big... I believe that's actually the last big...
Our champions are making
No, that's not
planetfall.
true. These
May
ones.
the spirits protect them. The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
So again, this wasn't ideal. I suspect I'm going to be losing quite a few ships off of that. Ascension Theory, bonus Ascension perk. Our history is a repeating cycle of dramatic technological, political, and cultural leaps. These leaps are often preceded by periods of upheaval and followed by times of relative stability. By identifying the core recurring premises of these leaps, we may be able to effectively short-circuit the cycle for our own benefit. Okay, So I'm tempted to go for the administrative capacity now. The only catch is that we do have capacity boosters and Manifest Destiny, both of which are relatively cheap. So let's go for the extra starbase capacity for now. Invasion's done, which means I get to add another system to my expansion pack. I really want to make just a splinter fleet to claim these systems up here, but it's not a good idea. These guys, on the other hand, well, they're already moving where they need to. These might be the privateers I hired. That's actually kind of funny if we're about to destroy them. Okay, so that's another 4 corvettes plus the one that I wrote the IOU for. Let's try and get that out of the way. Nope, IOU 2 now. Okay, that's a good sound always. So on to another fortified location. Nothing lost there. Well, there shouldn't have been, so these two are going to combine at some point. Okay, the artisan jobs are taken up. How about Duran? Okay, so again, I'm still trying to get my replacements. I'm not generating enough alloys. On the other hand, obviously the priority right now is consumer goods. Chameleon field exposed. A chameleon energy field of some sort concealing an ancient structure was recently exposed on the surface of Railraid, a lifeless planet inside our space. Only a chance asteroid impact was which was deflected off the field while the planet was being monitored by a passing freighter revealed its existence. Alright, well, that gives me something for... I had a bunch of science ships which were kind of just doing, like busy work. So let's go do some archaeology. In the meantime, okay, so we're already beaten up on a station. That's fine. I may not even worry about the healing. I might worry about the healing when I'm done my little tour here. Yeah, we'll just leave that be for now. Okay, we lost another ship off of that. And again, I know this is a little... it's almost rote at this point. But at this point, really, I just need to make sure that I'm taking systems at a faster pace than I'm generating war exhaustion. And then, then I can go back to managing the economy. Then I can worry about how to handle the Grey Tempest. Obviously, there's a lot of options that open up as soon as we sort of get... as soon as we get the Zaxoids in our little family. Okay, so we're minus 13. If we can get some high-value planets, so much the better, I suppose. We're not really going to get those off of gobbling these up, but they're available. I guess these two are going to be chasing each other for a bit. Now, I'll confess, I'm a little nervous about moving the... I'm a little nervous about moving the army in here because, of course, the Navy's already going away. And it's not like the Zaxoids are... it's not like they're completely without a fleet. I guess the one thing I would hope for would be that eventually this space station becomes strong enough to be able to help us out. All right, something dark is coming. Reach into the shroud. A small flickering star materializes inside the shroud. It flies past at an incredible speed, and for a second it reveals itself as an alien ship of an unknown configuration. Then it vanishes in a cloud of psionic energy as quickly as it appeared. Can it be? Is it possible to physically enter the shroud and then emerge somewhere else entirely in normal space? Linger for a while. Curse bestowed. Yet another flickering star suddenly appears, but this time we are ready. It is indeed an alien ship, and unlike any that has been seen in our galaxy. As it flies past us, we attempt to merge with the mind glow of its crew, but the intellects are darker and more alien than any that we have yet encountered. Not only are we repelled from their vessel, but the psionic feedback from their violent rejection has followed us out of the shroud. The sublight travel speed of our starships has been momentarily reduced. Oof, 20%. Lower sublight speed. That is not what I needed at a time when I'm trying to end the war quickly. There's the IOUs done.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them. Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
So it looks like we get a pretty consistent 2 for each one of these worlds we take. We're also really don't have any really good ideas about what to do with my extra cash. So this is always a bit of a pain to try and figure out which of these are the right ones. Let's do this by size. Okay. Nope. Okay, that's already on the way. Side note, I feel, yeah, we're already on our way. Ulim 3? I think we'll leave it at that for now. That is actually quite a bit more expensive than I recall. So we can afford it, but, you know, we used to be at 6, now we're at 5. It doesn't hurt to have a little care for the cost of these things. Okay, so the one drawback right now is we really don't have any more planets to claim. So hopefully this will, you know, this won't take too long. Poligar, I mean, that's another 2. I guess the reality that I need to accept is that just claiming these 2 systems on their own won't be enough. So it might actually be that we do need to claim everything. 3 dimensions, inextricable from the 4th. Okay, so we can get a bonus for encryption, focused arc emitter, code breaking. All of this would be great. Let's do focused arc emitters because we are definitely becoming quite a bit more belligerent. I'm also going to lock out the different systems with like the Ether Drake and such. We can deal with that after we kind of handle the crises. All right, now this is a real pain. So one of the reasons why we went to war for this was so that we could actually claim the terminal egress, and the Vitresis Hive has severely inconvenienced us this way. I suppose the one bit of good news, though, is that I think it's very likely that they are going to get hammered by the Grey Tempest. but maybe as a precautionary measure. Well, let's wait till the war's done. Traded consumer goods with us. All right. Okay, side nope's ready to go, so we'll colonize that. This is one that actually would probably not be a bad tech world. Seeing as I'm bringing new worlds online, perhaps it wouldn't hurt for me to start... I mean, let's not stand on ceremony. Let's just take the hit. I figure I can trade with them after I turn them into my vassal. God, I'm really annoyed at the Vitresis Hive for doing that. Though it makes me wonder what's happening in all the other black holes. Okay, Senate's now in session, so the worry I have here is the if nominating the Galactic Custodian is going to end whatever wars are happening. So we're close. But I need to find where these extra 8 where this extra 8 war score is going to come from. Teresa's Hive has vanquished an ancient threat in the distant Vermilion system. That was the automated dreadnought. Okay. So the Teresa's Hive is starting to... I don't know as far as victory is concerned. Yeah, we're still ahead of them, but I definitely want to clip their wings. But again, I don't want to clip their wings at a time when the Grey Tempest can creep up on my back door, so... It's time and a place for this sort of thing. So I just want to see when we're at -8 if taking any of these systems actually accomplishes anything, or if it's really just a matter of worlds. Because if it's -8, so it's 6, 4, 2, 0. That brings us over the... okay, well, no, with that in mind, we wouldn't need to take everything. That said, like, let's finish the war as soon as we can.
The spirits have granted
I
us
wonder why the
new wisdom.
Zaxoids are not happy with the idea of me being the Galactic Custodian. Okay, we can do nutrient replication, I think. Food from jobs, food from starbase construction. We're doing okay for food. I expect to see a big growth in, in the population, but that's one of the reasons why we allowed for that second agricultural world. So the plan here is we'll spend a little time to heal up, just because we're gonna... Actually, this isn't that big of a space station, but still, it doesn't hurt to just, like, heal up before doing space stations. And because... So there are 2 worlds up here. It's a really tough call. I think probably I will first go from the Sastrum system down to Araya and Pesh to claim those, and then we'll go back up here. And that's sort of built on the premise that these guys are going to be claiming Vega and Algorab shortly after. I mean, this army is going to take forever to get where it needs to go. It wouldn't hurt if I actually told them to, invade. A gift to celebrate the friendship between our two civilizations. As a gift to celebrate our friendship between the two civilizations, a caravan from the subterranean aliens on Uskomia Prime have brought a large quantity of gemstones to the surface. Stones such as these are apparently mined by their empire deep underground, as close to the planet's core as they dare to venture. So I always appreciate the gifts, but perhaps not the most important thing for me to be getting right now. However, it does give me a chance to pick another expansion. Really? We got something in the Wentwork system that we can convert. Oh! And there's an ancient tomb. I wonder if that's the same one that I sent someone Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Ugh, this expansion's driving me nuts. So when it says they're equivalent, I want to see whether or not that's militarily. Yeah.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
Space storm Oro arrives. Massive subspace disturbances have erupted in systems across the galaxy. Early reports indicate that nearly 50% of the systems in the galaxy have been affected by this unprecedented phenomenon, which appears to be a byproduct of thousands of years of heavy hyperspace travel by civilizations both past and present. Scientists are confident that this galactic space storm will dissipate by itself within a period of 5 to 10 years. Until that happens, the storm will play havoc with sublight engines, shield generators, and sensor systems in those star systems affected by it. The galactic community has officially named this storm Oro and has issued a general travel advisory. Okay. So what I want to start thinking about now with the Vitresis Hive is how do I... what sectors do I want to claim off of them? The Zypok Vortex would be a good one. They're not the easiest things to defend, though.
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
Okay, that's good news. I gotta get them... I gotta pretty much just burn them straight back to the Vega system, though. So we might as well wait to heal. Nothing too dramatic is gonna happen in between. Okay, -3, so we may only need Sastrum. I doubt it, but... Again, the sooner the better as far as getting all this stuff cleared out. The only reason I wouldn't move this one out right away is because it's meaningless until I have an army in place to take the planet.
Complete.
Should probably be prioritizing these upgrades a lot faster. Alright, the mausoleum. The structure appears to be a giant mausoleum or necropolis dating back several million years. There are no obvious signs of previous looters, so the structure may have been left untouched since the chameleon field was erected. The structure's first chamber is accessible, but an impenetrable door blocks any further progress. Large alien glyphs, as yet untranslated, have been carved into the wall above the door. What I didn't read before, a chameleon energy field of some sort concealed an ancient structure on the surface of this planet. Only a chance asteroid impact, which deflected off the field while it was being monitored, revealed its existence. With the field deactivated, archaeologists will now have access to the large and forbidding building complex that was hidden beneath it. Actually, more importantly, it means I get to do a couple things that I've been ignoring for a while. So, reverse engineering, alien technology, and oh, we've already got our religious revelation. Never mind. Subject integration begun. Oh, but it's the gearoids. Okay, that's fine. So what's probably going to happen is I will integrate the gearoids, but only by going to war with them. That's one of the reasons why I've been spoiling for a fight with the Vitresis Hive. Now again, this is one that I don't expect us to be able to win. At least outright, but I'll be able to give them a good punching. And we'll be able to claim these systems. I do want to try and get at least one doorway to the terminal egress. And, you know, anything spare is nice. We'll heal up, we'll take Sastrum. Presumably at some point the Navy's going to arrive to claim Vega, then we'll sort of see where we stand. I'm assuming we're not going to see too much movement on these numbers as we take these systems, but you never know. I figured I'd take a quick peek. I'm a little surprised that there doesn't seem to be a navy for the Zaxoids anymore, but I mean, it may just be that, you know, we hit them enough that it doesn't count anymore. Okay, pretty much have to do recycling, otherwise we lose all our consumer goods again. Okay, just the destroyers, and then we are ready to start the invasion again. While I'm at it, so it looks like their most... Oh, Jesus, their most powerful fleet's 59, huh? They don't have Titans yet, which I suppose is good. But, I mean, you look at these, right? These aren't ready to take on a size 59 fleet, that's for sure. Okay. So, I guess the good news, though, is that most of their fleets are actually in the 20 size. So they've got 3, 4... Ooh, 5... 6... Okay, they've got 6 big fleets, 3 of them 50k or above. So I think it's fair to say I want to make... But if I'm going to start a fight with the Vitresis Hive, I want to make sure I'm at my fleet cap. Anything less is absolute folly. The other thing that's going to be a really big challenge is that it's not just that I need to fight them. So there's going to be the fight in the Bera system, but I don't know where the Arcturus wormhole goes. Actually, that's one thing I can get one of these science ships to do. How much science does Borobo generate? Not enough. Oh, but they've closed their borders to me. All right, fair enough. Hey, Irrepressible. How's the Galactic Empire business? Doing okay. We're past the 50% on war exhaustion. We're really close to pressing our demands on this vassalization war. The Vitresis Hive have claimed some territory, which was the main reason why I wanted this guy as a subject. So that's a bit of a pain. But I have a bit of a game plan for how I'm going to make that work as well. Okay, just for convenience, you know what, there's a slightly better way I can angle that. Just for convenience, I am going to clear out those systems. This will hopefully not mean too much bloodshed for my navy. Could this be where everything began? The void here shimmers with power. Let us rest a while. Slowly at first, then faster and faster, our grasp on the shroud begins to slip. Our telepaths cry out in anguish as they lose their foothold, and we are ejected back into normal space. Well, at least we didn't get a curse. Not had too much luck with the shroud lately.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Alright, these upgraded emitters are equipped with better focusing lenses, resulting in a more powerful energy discharge. Let's do better code breaking. We'll do encryption afterwards. And I'm gonna wait a little while longer on the army. Well, I guess we can put it into Saint-Chamar. Okay, -2, so it does look like some of those systems did help us out. That means possibly with claiming Vega and Algorab, the rest of the invasions may be unnecessary.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Working on some defect retesting. Okay, we've got nutrient replication. The process of synthetically replicating crops requires a lot of collected waste to create a small amount of produce, but nevertheless provides a significant boost to our agricultural output. Once we finish the capacity boosters, I think I should feel okay to get that extra administrative cap. And we have a little under 2 years to before we become the Galactic Custodian. So again, if I can wrap up this war before that, just in case any surprises. The agreement that we signed giving you access to our data banks has run its course. Would you like to extend it for another 10 standard years, or do your researchers no longer require the information that we offer? We would like to extend the deal. Of course, we expect the artisans to come to us with the demand as well. Okay, 5 of 5 Titans are in production. My ideal is to build everything in big batches, so I do the Titans first, then the battleships, then the cruisers, and so on and so forth. In practice, it doesn't always work that way because I don't generate enough alloys. But you never know, right? If the opportunity comes up, I try and make the expensive stuff because it just takes a really long... Like, it takes me a year to build a battleship.
Our champions are making
so being
planetfall.
Able to...
May the spirits protect them.
You know, being able to just sort of get the really time-consuming stuff built early saves me the headache of having to sort of, you know, go to war with a less than
Our
ideal...
champions have secured a heathen planet.
Okay. And we can now achieve the war goals. Durga's successor Khanate can now use the subject casus belli against us. Interesting. The true Durga Horde can now use the claim casus belli against us. The Giroid Empire can now use the claim casus belli against us. The Zaxoid Stellar Confederation can now use the subject casus belli against us. Our vassal, the Endurga successor Khanate, has entered the war against the Zaxoid Stellar Confederation. Yeah, okay, so a bunch of these are not quite working. We've won the war. Zaxoid Stellar Confederation has become a vassal under the Black Codex. So let's just see exactly what happened there. So we won the war. I was waiting to see what the reply would be from them. Normally they... Okay, so who are my subjects? Because I know one of the Endurgas were also... Yes, okay, so I have more than... now have more than one vassal. Excellent. I was kind of hoping that would be the result of this. Okay. So, for starter, I'm actually going to send everybody back to the main world. We have a bunch of stuff to do. We've got upgrades that need to happen. We've got just at this point, I think I'm content to. Okay, I need to build 4 Corvettes as well. So I want to refit everybody up to full strength. I want to think about how I'm going to make the most of my naval capacity. So we should be able to comfortably... well, actually, I guess we're short of 5 fleets. I think in practice I should be able to run 5 fleets, even if I'm going to have some higher costs. Now, whether or not I'm going to generate the alloys for it is another question, but... Oh yes, and this of course is the next important question, which is, so I'm currently generating, let me just write some of the, I love having a piece of paper in front of me. So I usually have my tablet. It's really nice to have a piece of paper in front of me. So let's just take a quick look at how the Galactic Market's working right now. So right now, I can buy, and again, this is ignoring the fee. Well, maybe it does incorporate the fee once we... I mean, technically, we have the market now. Okay, so 252 to buy consumer goods, and it's 0.65 to sell. Okay, now there's a few... I want to actually do a slightly better balance this time around. So I am going to be doing some trades with the Zaxoids. However, I'm not going to trade with the Zaxoids. Sorry, I just got to sneeze. The thing is that with the Zaxoids, I don't want to... I don't want to like take away all of their I don't want to take away all of their alloys. I do want to take consumer goods and ideally get them at like a really good deal. Okay, they're not interested in any trade with me, it looks like. Which, fair enough, we did just take them over. Okay, so you know what? Maybe as a second... Well, okay, let's wait for the Galactic Custodian vote to happen. Oh, but there is actually a trade that I can do right now, and that is with the Gearoids. So relationships deteriorating with them, but again, so the plan here is I want to try and get as many alloys as I can in exchange for minerals. And if I can, like, I really want to like bleed them for the alloys, and that's just because it means that a rival doesn't have access to. It means a rival doesn't have access to the ability to make war against me. So that's basically going to be. Oh man. I'm paying a lot for these. That's like 8 per. Screw it. I can afford it is the thing. So even for something like the Vitresis Hive, oh yeah, the Vitresis Hive doesn't want anything to do with me. Are we officially rivals yet? No. Although I should take a look at what my current government stance is, because I have a feeling that I can probably do a better job with a belligerent stance at this point. Okay, so we currently have an expansionist stance. Oh yeah, we're... Okay. So, this empire demands that all bow before them. This diplomatic stance will harm relations with all other empires in the supremacist diplomatic stance. Restrictions on rival action are relaxed for both for and against us. Sending an envoy to improve relations costs 0.25 influence a month. We get plus 100% diplomatic weight from fleet power. We get lower war exhaustion gain. We get better naval capacity. And it costs us less for claim influences. We can be isolationist, so diplomatic weight goes down, better unity. I actually really like the fact that you have, like, so obviously there's like the xenophobe ethic, which this is like, but I like the fact that you can have diplomatic stances that will have, similar effects. Cooperative doesn't seem right. Okay, you know what, the better question for me, as far as because really what I want to be doing right now is looking at how I can really throw my weight around the galactic community. Let's just see where my points are coming from. Okay, so fleet power for sure. So the base number for that is 4312. The next highest would be economy, it looks like. So that's 2490. Tech, so that's 2201. And finally population, which oddly enough is still one of the highest in the galaxy. So if we compare that to the Vitresis Hive, so their fleet power is very strong. And then the other one for me to keep in mind is the fact that they actually have a very sizable technological advantage over me. So what I suspect this is going to mean is that when we do go to war with them, they are not only going to have more ships, they are going to have more powerful ships. It doesn't mean we can't win a war with them. It does mean that we need to be clever about how we fight a war with them. Anyways, so Currently, their stance is belligerent. You know what? We can wait a little bit before we start messing around with. Let's wait until let's wait for the measure to pass before we start being a jerk. I should also probably get the other ships that were doing some busy work too. So I guess the first question would be, would they accept vassalization? And distance is the bigger factor. So yeah, I mean, at this point here, it's pretty clear that I need to get my fleets up. I need to get my Empire Sprawl down so that I can close that technological gap. I'm fairly convinced that I would be able to take on the Vitresis Hive. Like, so again, they've got some very strong fleets for sure. I'm just reasonably convinced that pound for pound, we'd be able to carry the day with some decisive battles in certain areas. But again, like the fact it's a bit of a Cold War with them, I think I can live with that. So, Steam Matriarch Tigi Dakara, a decade ago, the Black Codex pledged to support the Artisan Troop, and so you have. The time of your patronage is coming to an end, but we would be remiss not to ask, would you care to renew your subscription to the finest arts and crafts in the galaxy? Okay, now this is intriguing. The fact that there's a science ship for the Vitresis, that means that they really are claiming the L cluster, even though the... So, I mean, this explains their powerful fleets. They really have been able to knock them back. Now that's fine because that gives me, like, so here's how we're gonna work this. It's gonna cost us 3. That's pretty expensive. If they wind up claiming the terminal egress, I'm going to add that to my shopping list. And now again, we're waiting for the Galactic Custodian title before I drop the mask and become a complete jerk. Oh. I should send an envoy.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Ah, the beloved Juggernaut. All right, a mobile space base of unparalleled proportions. The Juggernaut ship class takes offensive warfare to a whole other level. So this is a ship so big that we can build... It has like its own shipyard inside of it. We can build additional fleets inside of it. All right, let's do the Stormfire autocannon. So you don't have all the backstory, but you're a little suspicious of a little shop of horrors race of man-eating plant people. I mean, we don't know that it's man-eating. I don't think we have any spare governors, so could do clear blockers, which means nothing. I guess we'll do architectural interest. first chamber. The alien glyphs above the door have been translated as follows. I am Zarklon, the guardian of Maz Tarab, the prophet of Ziva. In a galaxy awash with spite and hatred, I have chosen to seclude myself here. Proceed, if ye be worthy. After combing through the first chamber for anything of interest, archaeologists discovered a tiny concealed wall panel. When pressed, the ancient door rumbled open. The second chamber can now be accessed. I believe actually, I guess I can confirm that. So I thought for a second that might have been a Hitchhiker's Guide reference, but I believe it's Zarkon, not Zarklan. Yeah, Zarquon, whereas this is clan. But yeah, so the man-eating plant people, allegedly man-eating plant people, have sort of been an unofficial rival throughout the playthrough. It's just they're the advanced start, so they've also been the most likely to kill me. So with that in mind, I need to be nice to them. I really want to get that Juggernaut underway, so even if I can't upgrade the base, let's... Oh man, that's expensive. Plant's evolving intelligence would be really wild, the plant's agency is so limited. Well, I actually really like the Plantoid DLC in general. I think it opens a lot of fun opportunities for storytelling in that. But yeah, you're right, obviously I guess I suppose some of the musculoid species, it's easy to understand because octopuses are awesome. And I think everybody kind of knows it now. But yeah, obviously thinking about we need, okay. So Colossal Assembly Yards, what do I give up? Crew Quarters, Fleet Academy, Deep Space Black Site. If it's built for ships, it's built for ships. I might even do it with Maisa, but for now we'll just have one. Yeah, so it looks like it's unanimous in terms of supporting me for Grand Poobah. The next big question here, so if I count the votes right now, so we've got 15, 7... 6, 8, and 2, 24, 5. So that's not enough to unseat Vitresis Hive. So they've got 26.6 in the galactic community. Probably should have put that on a world where I'd be earning energy credits. I'll remember that for next time. Anyways, in 100 days I can finally start claiming territory from the Vitresis Hive, and then I can also start doing more of my Galactic Custodian stuff. Oh, the Vitresis Hive has opened borders. It's unexpected. They'll probably close it again, but let's try and... if I can explore this wormhole in time. I no longer see any reason to keep you locked out of our territory. Our borders are open to you again. How could we be the weird ones irrepressible? Clearly that's just hippie talk. They closed it again, didn't they? I mean, in fairness, I didn't open the border, I didn't open stuff for them, so. Okay, so let's deal with 16 corvettes, 2 destroyers. Don't have enough destroyers? So the temptation is to upgrade these things right away. Again, I want to get the Juggernaut underway first, and it's going to take 572. Well, okay, if it's 572, I have the time. That wasn't the one I wanted to do. 72k. Okay, actually that's really good news. So it means that my full strength fleet can actually beat the crap out of the Vitresis' biggest fleets. Speaking of, we can probably afford a little more espionage. So our max... Oh no, our max infiltration level is 100, so we don't need to do any more... Basically, we don't need to do any more missions. That doesn't mean that we... Like, obviously, there's plenty of ways that we can still mess with them. But, like, we can... If I just kind of sit and wait, I should get a pretty good idea about what's going on in their territory on my own. And actually, while I'm at it, so we've got the Endurga Successor Khanate. I don't think it's necessary for me to run espionage. Well, I mean, we're sort of at the level we need to be, I suppose. But let's make nice, let me just double check that my policies aren't going to mess with this. So if I do Supremacist, yeah, so improving relations is going to cost me. Well, with that in mind, though, no, but I'm going to change my stance in 23 seconds. Okay. Am I improving relations with anyone? Spy network, improving with the Zaxoid. Okay. I might have to take the hit, but I don't need to improve with the Gearoid.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
All right, Galactic Custodian is appointed. At last, the Galactic Senate has voted to bestow emergency custodianship powers upon the Black Codex. In an official ceremony broadcast across the galaxy, we were appointed custodians of the galactic community. As the first among equals, we have been charged with safeguarding the galactic community from all potential threats, be they internal or external, who would seek it harm. We have been granted vast powers in all community matters and can now propose special resolutions. Now we can get things done. Okay, and our operatives can access data from adjacent realities without risking setting off alarms in reality. Is there a more deliciously authoritarian phrase than first among equals? I haven't found one. Okay. So. Oh, goody. So I now have more... Oh, man. So if I am not mistaken... Number 1, abolish the Galactic Count. No. So weak support. No empires are likely to support. So if we change it to council size 2, the Vitresis Hive would support it. I can go straight for dictator for life. The current custodians have proven themselves irreplaceable guardians of the community. Their stalwart service to the galaxy must be allowed to continue indefinitely. Strong support. Even the Vitresis Hive agrees with this. Okay, so United Front, damage to endgame crisis factions, plus 20 monthly energy credits, minus 3%. Galactic mobilization, bonus naval capacity. Introduce Galactic Standard, bonus to monthly influence. Anti-piracy initiative, trade protection, damage to pirates and marauders. Okay, Galactic institutions, Galactic Defense Force. Interstellar Navigation Agency. Yeah, well, I mean, so first of all, we're totally removing the term limit. We will totally abolish the Galactic Council as well. But, you know, like, first of all, we'll get rid of the term limits, and then we'll just slowly shrink the size of the Galactic Council. So this, I'm actually, with that in mind, I'm going to... I just changed the... who else? Yeah, so because I'm... Basically, just because I'm going to be taking a while before I like start being obviously evil, I'm going to make nice with my subjects. Oh, we already have more than... Okay, I seem to mess most of this up, but...
Construction complete.
The second chamber is unremarkable, aside from another set of alien glyphs above the closed door. They read, Petty kings issued edicts in my name. Empires waged war in my honor. Fools sang my praises. I would have none of it. No secret wall panel has yet been found that would provide access to the third chamber. Okay, we leave nothing to chance, no matter the cost. Through exacting curation of DNA banks, we build the leaders of tomorrow. Again, we'll go for the cheap tech as much as I can. So the eventual plan will be to take the supremacist route, but again, we'll make sure... I want to make sure that we're prepared. I'm fine with the wars. I should actually see, so defense in depth, home territory fire rate. I feel like we should be... Yeah, in this case, rapid deployment makes more sense. Orbital bombardment, I'm okay with the indiscriminate. Unrestricted interference is fine. Yeah, we can do capacity boosters. I know it costs more, but we're drowning in energy. An online rabbit hole is telling you that Latin Principes. Yes, that's the name that that is the name that Augustus used, and the census first among equals became the informal title of the emperors and eventually gave us the modern prince. That is absolutely correct. I don't know if so. I've also heard of the idea of the basileus from sort of like the ancient Greeks. I don't know if that's quite the same sort of first among equals. So like if you think of the Iliad and the fact that you have a bunch of people as part, so you've got Agamemnon, but you have a bunch of people arguing with him, even though he's sort of supposed to be in charge. But it's obviously not open enough that when one of the regular soldiers comes up and talks, that it doesn't cause one of the other major characters to like just beat him over the back for doing so. So, but even that, and I mean, I guess there's, I don't know, I don't think you could say the same for Alexander. Like, obviously Alexander had his generals in that, but I think it was pretty clear who was in charge there. But yeah, first among equals is, so I actually, irrepressible, I thought that is specifically what you were referring to. But yes, 100%. You gotta follow that rabbit hole as far as it will take you, because that'll be very fun. Okay, I still want to go for militarized economy. Obviously, I have been suffering from this because of my consumer goods. Trade policy, wealth creation, so extra energy. We could do marketplace of ideas, but I don't think we need the... Yeah, I don't know. I'll still go for the energy for now. Outlawed artificial intelligence, pretty much a must. Yep, I'm okay with the rest of this. We will change the diplomatic stance when the time comes, but the time has not come. So I'll do a quick audit of my worlds while we're carrying on. Okay. Went work. It's worker jobs we really need here. Really tough division. It's like in another, in a totally different scenario. This totally would have been a world I'd turn into a science world. In fact, I might still switch it around. The thing is, it's like high quality minerals, so there is a small advantage there. Okay. No specialist jobs, though. It can't be all farmland, right? It's a fair number of slaves. Well, let's put a slave processing facility on first. Might consider some other steps. Do I really need... I mean, we're producing 230 on this now, so the answer is yes. I should see if I have other... Did I really make this an agri world? I need to think about this one. Okay, so I actually have another batch of things that I need to check on these worlds. So right now I'm just checking for potential unemployment. I'll take a look for an opportunity to upgrade buildings as well. But the thing I didn't look for were the worlds that I had a chance to build a productivity center on. And it seems like there's quite a few of those. Obviously, to say nothing of the fact that there's clearly so many colonies that can be upgraded that I've just not been paying attention to. I'm very tempted to just upgrade this building here. A little surprised at the crime. Actually, generally, I'm a bit surprised on the crime. Trying to remember what happens if I turn this into a penal colony. So all the other empires have a minus 25%. Yeah, I don't know. If I can find one of these other small worlds, I think I will make a penal colony, because it looks like a number of these other worlds actually are getting some fairly high crime. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is just take a look for any opportunities to build productivity centers. Holy crap. We've got to get you some extra bureaucrat jobs. Yeah, so Ministry of Production on as many worlds as I can. Well, that's not entirely true. So this one will give me metallurgists and artisans. Clearly this is all food oriented, so this may be not so important. But unless you're Gribben, there's a bunch of worlds that should have ministries of production, and again, I missed opportunities to upgrade capitals. So Wentworth doesn't make any sense to have a ministry of production because it's a science world. Why do I keep running out of bureaucrat jobs? Let's face it, it's not going to be built. I want as many, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we should get an extra one when we make a planetary capital. Generator world, we've kind of got everything we need here. Now, I am curious, we've got more exotic gases than I know what to do with, so I am going to upgrade the energy grid buildings. Let's make sure that the fuming bog doesn't allow me to make any more... Yeah, so I can build another grass extraction well that's just been sitting unused for God knows how long. And again, doesn't make any sense to have a production. Okay, industrial world, so this will definitely be one where I want to build a ministry of production, but right, it requires a planetary capital. So again, sorry to do this tedious run, but it is a chance for me to just make sure that I've got the right stuff. Yeah, this is Forge World. Ministry production already on the way. The ones that just have regular, like, repurposed ship shelters, I don't really need to worry about. Okay, this one I'll just anticipate, actually. It's not so obvious to me that this is going to become a generator world now that I look at it. I'll build it anyway, but if I have to replace it, shame on me. Oh, and we are... Okay, so... a little bit of everything, frankly. Okay, and that should cover us for unemployment as well. So I realized that was kind of extended, just kind of maintenance work, but that will hopefully sort of lay the foundation for the next few turns of economic activity without me having to spend a whole lot of time looking at it. We're already on our way to... another trip to the Shroud. Something dark is coming. For reasons we cannot fathom, we have been drawn into this corner of the Shroud. Why? Curse bestowed, a powerful psychic backlash has bounced back through our conduit with the Shroud and into the communal psionic link that is shared between all Emetherians. Its negative energy has eroded the morale of our ground troops, who will be much less effective in battle for a time. Okay, so I'm thinking we might want to give the Shroud a rest. We've been having some pretty bad luck with it. Our good options have been going away. It's actually kind of hard for me to argue for, like, using it. There's a couple things I want to do here. So either I want to take my bureaucratic worlds, or I want my consumer goods factories. Yeah, so Aranus, we'll stick them on there. Let's also see Aranus generates 9.7, so we can roll back accordingly. I'll just pull it back by 10, but every little bit helps as far as that surplus is concerned. Speaking of which, the Zaxoids may... Nope, they're still disloyal. What about the Endurga? I mean, they're disloyal, but we might still have a trade deal. We very much do not. Ah, they're cuties. Again, if I can cram Aranus full of new jobs, so much the better. Unfortunately, I messed this one up. So who's got the next? So obviously we'll prep Aranus with more industrial work. It's my next industrial world without workers. Great. Limsa. So I'm going to have to pay twice for this one, but again, I'm not too worried about... Oh, actually, this is space labor. That's a whole other matter. Stebnar's got... Yes. And of course, we're waiting for the station to finish building the colossal assembly yard so we can build the Juggernaut. We're maxed out on Titans, so of course the next thing will be to actually make enough fleets to be able to use these Titans. But that's I'd like to say that's a it's kind of second order problem. Yeah, we'll stick you on Aranus again, unless you tell me. Okay, yeah. Again, I'm just trying to get the... So the first thing I'm trying to do is get the consumer goods under control. The reason why I want to get the consumer goods under control is that that's going to be the way that I can fund the bureaucracy. Funding the bureaucracy will get my technology costs down, which will mean that not only in addition to building additional science planets, my existing research is going to be much better. And again, this is something we've been struggling with the whole time. We generally have been doing okay, but it's really clear that we're falling behind compared to the Vitresis Hive. And particularly if we are going to be going to war with them. And I will confess I'm a little weirded out as to why the game seems to think they are more powerful than me. You know, I just kind of want to prepare for the possibility that... Whoa!
We are spreading our faith to a new world.
The third chamber. After a long and tiring search, a secret lever hidden under the floor was found, which provided access to the fourth chamber. As before, alien glyphs adorned the wall above yet another door. Those who wish to parley with Zarklan must first find their way. There is, in each chamber, a hidden key that must be turned to proceed. The purpose of these challenges will soon be revealed. Got a religious revelation, and we're going to reverse engineer. Oh, nice, 10% bonus. Okay, give it a year and we'll be back to the Senate. I'm really chomping at the bit to turn evil, but... It's also fascinating to see the shifts in weight. So one of the things that'll be nice is just being able to kick the hive off of the council will help. Okay, we will colonize. This is a nice size 24 continental world, so lots of possibilities here. I should also take a second because I think we've messed around with the
situation log updated.
Take a couple months just to try and get everything back in order. I know it's a little bit of a lost cause because I think every time I bring in a slave, there's the adjustment happens again. But this time I don't know, I'll try and make it work. We are 175 days away from being able to build the Juggernaut. I think we're actually, yeah, we're worse off on our Empire Sprawl than we were. That's a little concerning. So, I mean, we have got a lot of bureaucratic centers. It's just a matter of filling them.
Species tampered with. May the spirits forgive us.
So we'll see whether or not that stays that way, right? We're going to be colonizing some worlds. We're going to be... like, there's a bunch of different stuff that's going to happen in between. But hopefully that'll bring us a little bit closer to where we have a little more harmony. Once we build the Juggernaut, the next step's definitely going to be to split out those Titans to get everybody sort of at maximum strength. And of course, the hope then will be that we can translate that into some territorial gains over the Vitresis Hive. Okay, what's the deal here? It's basic jobs, so I don't think we're going to be able... You know what? At this point, it's just as easy for me to send him to a generator world. So if I send him to generator worlds, it gives me a chance to earn even more energy. And here, there's two things I'm going to do, actually. One, I am in something of an expansionist mode, so this doesn't help me for my overall... sprawl. But I do get to convert some of these worlds. Okay, Star Mag. Okay, not in our borders yet. A lot of really close ones. Beta Corvi's size 16. So one of the reasons why these have become a little bit more of a priority is that these are the most likely worlds to become like additional science centers. Again, once I get my consumer goods under control. It's not the only option, by the way. There are a couple of other... options that I have. So, we've got the conversion to Continental happening here. The next option that I have, of course, is to expand out, particularly because there's a Gaia world up here. That catches, of course, expanding out my borders is going to have its own consequences as far as, just being able to, you know what? I'm going to push it as long as I can, but I have a feeling that I'm going to have to vote for removing my term limit. I have a feeling that that's probably... I'm going to hit my cap before it's over. We'll see.
Construction complete.
All right, the moment we've been waiting for. Juggernaut class coming online. So we're good for Titans. We are good for Juggernauts. I think at this point here, I'll just knock out as many battleships as I can. So once the Vernalis Starfleet's done, I'll combine things up with the Decini Starfleet, whatever is left in the Farfan Starfleet. What I'll probably do is I'll just like slice out the individual. Actually, I guess I can slice out the individual Titans already.
Our ships have been improved.
Okay, so we can expect about 68k strength on a single fleet. 1713 14. Okay. I should also probably consider where I'm going to keep this. Not really any good options right now.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
I guess I'll keep it here for want of a... did I really screw that up again? Okay, what's the deal on Aranus? Yep, fair enough. I'll stick him on another generator world. Borobo, Secundus, not the most exciting. I'm trying to look for a world with lots of openings. Yeah, Lyrum will do. And we've got the Stormfire autocannon, so we begin the upgrade cycle again. Advanced rotary autocannons capable of spewing a cloud of high explosive shells at a target. So there are so many possibilities here. Let's go for the cruiser hull points. Not because I don't want my better Titans. It's the question of what I currently have access to. Okay. So 1, 7, 13, 14, 28. 1, 7, 13, 14, 20. Wow. What happened here? Okay, first of all, it doesn't need another Titan, so that was silly. Right, so we've got a destroyer and a ton of corvettes. Do we really not have... I mean, I did say that the others were easy to make, so... Still, it'd be nice if the Destiny Starfleet was a little bit closer to action. That's fine. It'll all sort itself out. If I really want, I can just buy the alloys, and it is incredibly tempting to do so. It's just I know I'm going to raise the price in the galaxy if I do that as well. So, okay, the Gearoids. So if I can, again, I want to give him. I'll send him the deal again. Try and make it. As good as it can be. And again, it's really just a chance to...
Incoming transmission.
For me, this is a great chance to just try and keep the... keep potential rival powers at bay so far as... so far as their manufacturing capacity. If I could pull the same trick on the Vitresis Hive, I would. It's really clear here. With the suspicious attitudes, I don't see any situation. Yeah, like they're just not going to trade that with me. Not even like a monthly mineral there is a bridge too far for them. So the Endurga would like to establish an embassy. We would like to aim to establish an embassy on Quantos for the future betterment of Endurgan avowed diplomacy. All right, well, I'm cool with that, and this may actually mean that we have opportunities for trade deals. So the key for me here is that I don't see taking... Nope. Well, it's still an improvement. So basically what I see here is that if I'm going to be doing a trade internally, I do actually want the Endurga Khanate. Like, so if I can, I because they are my subject, what I would like to do is I would like to make sure that the trade deals I have with them are ones that will sort of equip them to be able to handle, you know, like a fight. So in this case, I don't want to completely bleed out the Zaxoids or the Endurga of alloys for the simple reason that I want them to be able to build navies that they can defend themselves with. It's pretty clear that, like, Gearoid, on the other hand, is more likely I'm going to be going to war with them with the Vitresis Hive. So this seems like a fair deal to us. We accept. I'm actually curious what the terms of that particular one are now. So we are spending 784. Well, that's better than the last one. I think the last one we were over 8 minerals per alloy. And again, I'm not doing it because it's a good deal. I'm doing it because it denies the Gearoid Empire of alloys with which it will potentially make war with me. This time the lever was concealed in the roof. The fifth chamber has more alien writing. There is none. The challenges are as meaningless as these words. That is my lesson. I am Zarklan, the pawn, swept along by the currents of history against my will. Proceed, and an audience shall be yours, should one still be of interest. The next chamber is likely the last. Wait, do they have their borders open to me now? It's welcome if they do. Still says they've closed their borders to us. So mysteriously, we are somehow able to explore or go through this system, but really? Okay, Senate's now in session. Unanimous support for removing the custodianship term limit, which is good. So there'll be a few other proposals that I come up with. I'm actually just thinking. It's like I'd definitely like to introduce the Galactic Standard just for the extra monthly influence. Unfortunately, I think the time has come to go evil. Okay, Inthem's out of space for workers. Again, I want to find one of those crazy worlds where I have like 1 million jobs available. But yeah, I was kind of hoping that we would get the vote done, but if I leave this another month, I'm not going to have the influence. So let's go to policies. We'll now change our diplomatic stance to supremacist. With that in mind, we will then go to the council. So I can't afford to improve relations anymore. And then we will open up the claims manager. This is a decent start, I suppose. Yeah, so that covers me for influence for a bit. Now, in terms of overall resolution, so there's a few different things that I can work on. So, if I want to focus specifically on sort of my immediate term goals, so change the council size to 2 and then eventually 1. Now, changing it to 1 is going to be a little bit harder. So, I mean, with 31.7k, that might be the point where I can sort of tip everything over to the edge. Actually, maybe that's one.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
It should work out exactly. So I'd need... Wait, that doesn't make any sense. So I need 34, so in theory if I were to assign more envoys, I'd be able to make this happen. It's worth remembering that as I change the council, so if I take it to size 2, that's going to remove a body from the council and overall dilute. So assuming that they always vote with me, I suppose the other way. it would be interesting to see whether or not my subjects vote against me. So I suppose the other way that I could look at this would be assuming that my own side votes with me at all times. In practice, I have enough votes to get anything passed. But that's a big question, right? As whether or not my vassals are obligated to vote with me. Negative time keys. Our latest advances in encryption exploit recently discovered quirks of physics to require inputting a specialized key before it has been generated. Okay, so we are in this wonderful world of kind of being able to do whatever we want. I'll start with shield hit points. We're at the end of the physics tree. Might as well add this to the proposal queue. We've got plenty of plenty of space. Now, why would we Galactic Council can propose a resolution to denounce unfriendly members of the galactic community. So I'm curious why I can only do that to the Zaxoids.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom. System survey complete.
All right, additional study into different planetary climates will allow us to settle our populations on worlds previously thought too hostile to support them. We are also getting near the edge of our limits here, so administrative capacity is probably the best bet.
System survey complete.
I'm happy to do the system surveys, it just doesn't feel like the biggest priority right now. Okay, not great. 240 for 60. I'm assuming they're not going to want to do the deal again. Nope. This looks like I'll have to pay. Hey, Neonix, how you doing? I've been a little, it's a little bit more of a quiet one tonight. We got through a war, which is good. We've actually made a lot of progress towards a lot of the goals that I was talking about in earlier streams, but I'm sort of feeling the consequences of kind of pushing myself a little bit too much. So I've been a little bit quieter on the commentary side, but just to give you an idea of where we're at, so we are currently the Galactic Custodian, and there is unanimous support to remove the Custodian term limits. I will then be changing the council size to 2, and then obviously there is a much more important number that will be following shortly after that. And yeah, just slowly consolidating my power. We're generating 12 influence as a result of all this work. So essentially, I'm definitely going to be sort of putting up my elbows and passing a bunch of extra resolutions. Probably the Galactic Defense Force is the next one I want to be working on.
Our ships have been improved.
Okay, again, always good news. We'll probably have to upgrade them immediately. No, we're good. I think we said we were going to give the Shroud a you know, it doesn't cost that much to go in. So horror has a face. A shard of perfect crystal floats here, rotating slowly around its own axis. So here's the thing. I'm going to exit the Shroud because I don't actually see how I'm going to need this extra firing rate anytime soon. The thing is that even with a pot, like, so if I'm not going to be using the extra firing rate, it does invite the question as to why I would even allow the, like, the non-zero probability of a curse happening. Which I realize is not the bravest choice I've ever made, but... Okay, we also have space for some more star bases, so it looks like Chalks is a pretty attractive option. Don't we have a colony ship? I could have sworn we had a colony ship on the way to this planet. Apparently not, though, so... Already has a planned colony, okay. Oh, because it's already on its way, of course. Let's do some upgrades if I can. I feel like, yeah, I still have citadels to make, and I'm not even remotely close to being able to afford them. Okay, so yeah, Chalks is probably the most valuable trading port at the moment. Probably wouldn't hurt for me to take a look at, well, Lyram's actually pretty good too. Then, of course, there's the question of future expansion. So I'd probably want to make sure I have at least one star base in place to be able to handle you know, any future choke points up front here. I probably want more than one, but fortunately, it looks like we're doing pretty well as far as securing the trade routes are concerned. So Lyram and Chalks seem to be... Chalks definitely, so... Alright, after a grueling search, the last key was discovered in the form of a minuscule button hidden in one of the carved alien glyphs. In the last chamber, a gigantic throne holds the slumped and motionless form of a large humanoid figure. A horrible smell hints at the decayed state of the being's body. Some glyphs at the bottom of the throne read simply, Zarklon, at your service. The body is too far gone to be moved, but the head is surprisingly well preserved given its age. Not wanting to leave empty-handed, some archaeologists use a laser cutter to remove the head. It is true then. You have found the legendary tomb of Zarklon. When the augurs told me, I did not believe them, but the evidence is irrefutable. I understand that you have the prophet's head in your possession? Then, as was foretold, the chosen of the great Zarklon have at last been revealed. As would have been Zarklon's wish, any unsettled holy worlds near our space are yours to do with as you wish. There are also many devout pilgrims of the celestial throne who would be greatly honored to fight under your banner. See, my favorite is when I'm some kind of hardcore materialist civilization that the, that the spiritualists hate.
System survey complete.
Those are usually my favorites. But in this case, we are actually a spiritualist species as well. Excuse me. We are at... Oh my goodness. Oh, right, yeah. So we'll get them... Oh, nope, there's nothing else for them to search. Alright, that's a little inconvenient. Now I need to remember where I stuck all these things. I think I had like a farming world that I put a science building on, didn't I? Where is that one? I'm trying to remember why I put 2 temples on this. I think originally it had a bunch of agriculture on it. Doesn't make a lot of sense to get rid of it now. It's just, it's weird. Right, Teo was going to get the... was potentially going to get the science. Okay. Well, at the very least, we will assist with the social research. Still a very long way away from our juggernaut.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Cruiser hull points advances in building techniques allow for the construction of sturdier and more durable cruisers. So mega engineering is very tempting. Again, we have these options. I think I'm going to do the Giga Cannon. Storm Oro dissipates. As quickly as it appeared, Space Storm Oro has completely dissipated. Ship systems will no longer be impaired in those systems where subspace disturbances had manifested. Although some speculate that storms such as Oro could lead to the eventual collapse of the hyperspace network thousands of years in the future, for now space travel seems to have returned to normal. So again, a lot of this is just about arming. So for whatever reason, the Grey... Whatever reason, it feels like the Grey Tempest has not become all that big of a threat. The Retreatus Hive, on the other hand, is a bunch of stuff that I want. So the sooner we can kick this war off, the better. Actually, now is not a bad time for me to... I'm going to write this all out on another piece of paper. This is going to be a very large accounting. Okay, so ideal fleets are 1 Titan, 7 battleships, 13 cruisers, 14 destroyers, 28 corvettes. I believe we have 5 Titans currently, and we can afford 6. Sorry, I'm doubling up the work. Just allowing for the 6th Titan. So I'll go with a 5 Titan version just because I've already got it built. Okay, so Need 1 destroyer, 15 destroyer, 15 corvettes. That's for the Dicini Starfleet. So the Farfan Starfleet needs 1 battleship. Sorry, that was building up for a while. Oh, we've already got the destroyer for the Dicini, so I guess I can't kick it out yet. Excuse me. I guess come to think of it, we got the 10 corvettes. Okay, so we need a battleship, 10 cruisers, 14 destroyers, 28 corvettes, and then we've got 2 full. Okay, so for the actual cost, so a full fleet, like from scratch, Titans. Well, okay, I don't need to build any Titan. Well, okay, just for the sake of completeness for my records, because I really don't want to have to do this again. It's 2762 for a Titan. It's 1404 for a battleship. 747 for a cruiser. 369 for a destroyer, and the corvette is 191. So, for the 10 corvettes that I need for replacements, that's 1910 for the battleship. Okay, so 19,388 to... Okay, so basically what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to calculate what it's going to cost me to sort of refit everything. So this one, effectively, we only need 10 more corvettes once everything's... once all is said and done, so it's 1,910 alloys to get this thing up and running. That's going to be my second 68.4K strength fleet. The next one would be the Forfan Starfleet, which seems to be a lot bigger than it actually is, but that number is large because it's got 2 Titans and 6 battleships inside of it. It's also worth remembering that the destroyer and the corvette are actually going to be, those are going to be going into the Dicini Starfleet. So to get that thing up and running, we're looking at 19,388. So that if I were to spend all of that, that would then give me 3 full strength. That would give me 3 full strength sort of main fleets with Titans, and then that would also mean that there are 2 Titans left over, and they would effectively need a full fleet, and that's the cost I'm working out right now. So 1404 times 7, so that's 9828 for the 7 battleships. 747 for the 13 cruisers. So that's 9711. Isn't this fun to listen to on stream? I'm sorry. It's a calculation I need to get done, because this is actually going to be working out timings for when I can actually do a lot of this stuff. So 30, 53, and then of course that's for 2 of them, so that's 60. And then if I wanted to get really technical about it, I could add the last Titan, which is 2752, and that would be another 32,805. So to get myself at 100% full capacity, so like let's say that I wanted to say I want as many ships as I can field. I'm looking at 1910 plus 19,388 plus 60,106. Plus 32,805. So 114,209. Which, if you take a look at my monthly rate, is a little bit more than what I can just naturally generate on my own. Actually, out of curiosity, if I were to just wait for my monthly production, that would be 741 months. But that raises the final question, which is, okay, so 2,500. That's going to cost 29,294, thereabouts. Obviously, it's close to 10. So with that in mind, if I'm looking to generate 114,209, so I need 45 of those injections. Obviously, the cost is going to go up over time too. I mean, it's going to be painful, right? But this is, in my opinion, this is worth doing. So we'll build, it's probably worth it to build that Titan, but it's probably one of my more expensive options at the start. And again, all of this is just prepping for an eventual, you know what? Nah, I'll stick with the choice. Because again, we've got 2,100 days before the Juggernaut comes online too. Probably I'm not going to start too much as far as fights are concerned. Without the Juggernaut. But yeah, I mean, all of this is building up towards the fight with the Vitresis Hive, and particularly given the fact. So I mean, the worst thing that could happen to me would be the Vitresis Hive is the one to stop the is the one to stop the Grey Tempest. It's actually one reason why I would really like to.
The faithful have claimed a new world.
It's one reason I would really like to get this war underway sooner rather than later. Okay, Gene Clinic and temple, and I guess we've made the stronghold part of our default setup as well. So we'll clear out the impassable mountains and the toxic kelp. We'll start with a city district. I'm not 100% sure what I want to use this for yet. This actually could be a rather good... This could be a rather good world for science. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, well, yeah, we have enough for industry as well. Well, maybe start with the generator districts, because, again, it's very hard for me to say that I don't need more energy. Okay, election coming up. No surprise. Oh, actually, the one surprise here is the Gearoids apparently will be... Yep, well, no, that makes sense. They're overtaking the Zaxoids. So probably just as well that I'm reducing the size of the council.
System survey complete.
Looks like there's quite a bit of support for that as well. Okay, not a whole lot else for them to do, I suppose. Gotta find that colony I just made. So get it to assist research. I'm hoping if I don't turn it into a science world that I'll have the presence of mind to move that ship off of that job. But, yeah. Holy smokes. How did their number jump up so large? Again, it's worth remembering. I'm trying to make it so that I can push my will through. It's very inconvenient for me if the Endurga Horde are able to help resist. They are going to get a boost, so Senate session can be concluded prematurely. You are now able to use your power to call an immediate session conclusion. It'll cost me 190. Sure. You are now... Okay, so now I have full term limit. Or I have unlimited term limits. Good for me. I could pass this as an emergency measure.
We are spreading our faith to a new world.
So the Gearoids are going to be mad about this, but... The big question will be if... So when I'm trying to decide, being able to do things like the Galactic Defense Force, that's probably something I want to do sooner rather than later because it'll be sort of my extra army, or my extra navy. But yeah, I don't know. I'll need to think about it. A forest fire caused by lightning on Iblira Prime created something akin to a stampede among the moon's wandering forests. Their wild panic brought them into areas that they had previously avoided, resulting in widespread damage to the colony's terrain. That is very cool that I'm able to mess with it. Okay, well, there's no surprise there that the Gearoids
Construction
don't like it.
complete.
So what does interest me here is that it seems that the Zaxoids are able to vote against measures that I want. Okay, well, no surprises there. So the Gearoids did get a little bit of extra support. Oh, wow, so they do not support this measure. That's a really good thing for me to know. So it means that I don't quite have the diplomatic power to be able to just, like, put up my elbows and stop everything from happening. So this also means that I'm going to want to spend the time buttering up the Zaxoid Stellar Confederation. Alternatively, I'm going to want to dump even more into diplomats to just gain some kind of an overwhelming advantage. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I have to wonder when it comes time to, you know, to turn the council into one. I kind of have to wonder if there's a way that I might be able to, you know, to just push that ahead a little bit more. But yeah, we'll see. We're definitely gonna get to council size 2, probably not tonight. And I think I'm gonna wait a little while to see what my I'll see if I can So that's interesting. I don't think it'll be enough to so in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this is going to mean a whole lot, but I can get for future votes, particularly for ones that will remove the Vitresis Hive from the council.
Our ships have been improved.
I can get an extra 3,000. Interesting.
System survey complete.
Baroness has unemployment. At this point, I'm just kind of assigning it to random worlds. I need to find out a better science support system, but kind of have other concerns right now. Okay, I believe I was on the path to building some more battleships. So again, the priority here in terms of just building the battleships and such, are they the ones that take the longest time to produce? So where I can, I like to try and put those in the queue as early as I can. The catch is, of course, they're also very costly to produce, so there's like no good way of making it all work. Yeah, I am really curious what it looks like after. After I get the council size done, I guess the thing is
Our
that
ships have been improved.
once everyone sort of knows what's up, I guess the question is, do my vassals want to actively act against my interests, or do they perceive it as a chance to sort of rein in the Vitresis hive? Okay, so the Starfleet. It's just the destroyer and the corvettes I needed. Cine just needs the 10 corvettes and then it's good to go. Obviously, I've got these rather weird ones of just Titans sitting out on their own, but it's what I got. And the Farfan looks kind of weird right now because, well, obviously it needs quite a few of its ships. Well, it's got a corvette. That's good news, I suppose. I think it was 713. I've got it written down. 14 destroyers, yes. 13 cruisers, yes. Cool. I don't see any... Oh, no, I do see a reason to go through the Shroud, so... Void here. Shimmers with power. Let us rest for a while. Oh my goodness, even more influence? Yes, please. The powerful energies of the Shroud have flooded the communal psionic link that is shared between all Emetherians. Our empaths are stronger than ever before, resulting in greater political influence. So, we're already generating it hand over fist. Let's wait for the motions that I need to pass. At least one of our monthly trades has a price that doesn't match. Oh, man. That's a pity. I mean, it's a testament to my economy that we're able to buy that many consumer goods at that price. But, wow. So we're producing 4,253. 879 of that is going into buying consumer goods. That's pretty ridiculous. And amazingly, our Empire Sprawl has only grown. So that's going to be a whole other set of issues for me to deal with, I think. I'll admit, like, I don't have a good answer for how to fix most of this stuff, too. You know, passage of time will only cover so much. Best I can hope for right now is to just gobble up... oh man, they're making so much progress in the terminal egress. If I get a hint that I have some kind of fleet superiority over... like, I am 100% gonna start the war early. But that's also a really good way for me to lose. Yeah, so the plan shipyard-wise is... Well, okay. I'll fill in with some occasional corvettes just to get the Decini Starfleet where it needs to be. But as much as I can, try and fill up my fleets with the battleships that it needs, because those are the slowest. Kind of create a collection of cruisers, destroyers, and corvettes. Hopefully those can be built over a shorter period of time. And it's like we'll have two, like we've got a full battleship for our third major fleet. That's less than half of what we, or sorry, the third major fleet has all the battleships it needs. The fourth one will have less than half when all is said and done. And again, like, we've got the time with the Juggernaut. We've got, we're currently passing the resolution. Actually, I guess we're getting close to the halfway mark, so we'll probably be able to end the session reasonably soon. But, yeah, it's... time is not really on my side here. And in fact, I believe we'll have less than 100 years before we start scoring the victories, so it's fair to say that I'm not prepared for a fight against the against either of the empires, let alone both.
Construction complete.
One more. Well, I might actually have more than I thought I needed. Yeah, there's already a Corvette there. Yeah, I'll cancel one. I'll try and keep some semblance of order with these, so 6 of 7. So when the battleships start rolling off, we'll try and put them into the Pomlin Starfleet. I suppose one thing I can do to try and make life a little easier for me is to assign a leader at least to some of the larger ones. Hopefully I'll get the fleet logistics after a certain period of time. Okay. Either they got bought or it's false alarm. I won't do it for the Palmen just because, you know, it's size 16, it's not the end of the world, but... So one drawback we'll run into right now is that there's just a sheer number of fleets that the Vitresis Hive has is larger. It's also worth remembering that there's the Gearoid Empire, so the Gearoid Empire is going to go pouring over the border into my vassal, the Zaxoid Stellar Confederation. There's really nothing I can do about that. It's also very clear that they're... Yeah, so actually, one consideration that I should be making is it's one thing for me to claim this territory here, but clearly all the action's going to be in the black hole. So I'm probably going to want to put most of my fleets over here. And then that raises the question, how do I get them from here to here? Maybe the answer to that... okay. Yeah, I see where I'm going to get blown apart. So 3 51K fleets. 5164, 52, 123. 53, 814, and then there are 2 other stronger ones. Yeah, I'm not even remotely prepared for a fight with them. I was taking a look at all these ones in these areas here, and it's because they're too busy in the L cluster to care about their main territory. So yeah, I'm definitely going to need to smarten up quite a bit before I even consider a fight with them. But I still think it's one that we can win. Okay, let's sell. I'm actually going to sell pretty deep on the food. It's mostly so I can buy more of the alloys. Lost to bureaucracy due to a major clerical error. Parts of Side Note Prime have fallen behind in infrastructure maintenance and accommodation services. People live in rather bleak conditions and will not tolerate it for long. Remedying these problems will cost us time and effort. Let's give a strong community, help them recover. Yep. I can work with that. Alright. We're cranking the replacement Corvettes out at a decent pace. Ah, okay. So I've been able to end the session for a while. We will. So I am the Senate. Weak support. So the Endurga support it, everybody else doesn't. So with that in mind, the Endurga would give me 2.2. So that would bring me up to 36.1. Ah, yeah, now this is the trick. So okay, let me work this out properly. So I've got 34.1, and then right now we've got 2.2. They will have lost their... Wait a minute. Yeah, so they're out of the Galactic Council now. Okay. So, I actually have 35 now. Plus the 2.4. So we subtract this 21.9. Then we subtract the 9.4. Then we unfortunately subtract the 6. Oh, we're so close. It's a rounding error, which actually, if you think about it, that means we pass it. Because I can call in the favors, which means the Gearoids and the Vitresis have to honor it. So the catch is that I need 2,518 days, but it does mean that I'm going to be okay. So a lot can change in that period of time. That's almost 10 years. But with that in mind, I will be able to change. So assuming that the balance of power doesn't shift too much, it seems to me that I will be able to use the favors, because that's going to get me another 3,000 or so votes. And if we're right now split down the middle, assuming that the Zaxoid Stellar Confederation doesn't become friendly to me, which I think in this particular case, let's take the time to make nice. Actually, I guess I'll do that for the Khanate. So I know this is going to cost me, influence, but I've got more than I know what to do with right now. We're the true inheritors of the Great Khan's legacy. Okay, let's try... There's so many things I want to try and pass here. the big question I have right now, so there's the Galactic Defense Force. If I try and pass that now, that's going to take a hit to my alloys, and I want to use those alloys to build my own navy, which I will then be throwing at the Vitresis Hive. Of course, the good news will be that when I, after I do that, then I build the Galactic Defense Force, which, I can use as a bonus. Oh man, I can already proclaim the Galactic Imperium. So despite the tremendous efforts of the Custodian, the galactic community is still undermined by internal division. Think of all that could be accomplished if the galaxy were united under strong leadership. An unprecedented era of peace and prosperity is within our reach. Okay, so the Black Codex becomes the Imperial core, shifting towards authoritarianism and adapting the Imperial government. All incompatible civics are removed. Oh man, there's a lot of people who support the Galactic Imperium. Interesting. All right. Well, you know what? There's a lot for me to think about here, but I think it's time that I need to just take some time to stop and think. We became the Galactic Custodian. We finished the war with the Zaxoid Stellar Confederation. I might be able to vassalize the Gearoid Empire, but that would require a fight with the Vitresis Hive. One drawback is that the Vitresis Hive has been doing a pretty good job of knocking back the Grey Tempest, and as a result, they've been able to take some territory from us. Now, again, we'll go to war for it, but I definitely need to get my fleets in order. So that's going to be probably the main focus of the next few sessions, and then when I'm good and ready, we're going to beat the crap out of them. But again, that's probably going to take me a little while. As always, thank you everybody for watching. I know it's a little more quiet, which I suspect when I go and see the viewer numbers, it might be a little smaller than I was expecting. But I do very much enjoy Stellaris, and I hope even for the ones which are a little bit more about building, I hope I hope it's diverting enough to make it worth your time. Looks like we have got Ponce, who is live with Final Fantasy XIV. So I think he's a really great person to leave off on the rest of the evening. Ponce is a great guy. I kind of found him through the Vancouver streaming community, but he used to be a really big League of Legends streamer, and he's since sort of moved on to other games. But really hasn't lost, his partner streamer really hasn't lost his ability to sort of hold an audience's attention. I think he does Final Fantasy quite well, but I know that's kind of also had the cost. I know a lot of people watched his stuff for League of Legends, and that's not necessarily holding out for some of the other games. So I'd love it if you would be able to show him a bit of support. As for me, there is another episode of The Elder Scrolls Oblivion tomorrow. I know I missed that last week, again, because I was definitely not feeling 100%. But new episode of Oblivion on Tuesday. It's very likely the local game dev collective is going to be doing their presentations on Wednesday, so it's unlikely I will be streaming then. But I will be back for Friday for more Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at one of those future times.